stuff is always collective. You go and write it on your own, it's always collective. So at that time I was very, very young, and the people I worked with, they were largely still in high school or just left high school. So when this book came out, they wanted to have a launch. Okay? They wanted to have a launch, and they said, you stay out of it, we'll organize it. You just come for it, right? And they had this at the main hall of the school I studied in, Kingswood, right? So even that main hall has changed since. I'm talking about 2006, okay? So it's changed, and I remember this day with such clarity, this book launch, okay? So people in attendance, there were about 30 people. People in attendance included people for whom that was the first and last Vihanga Perera event. Right? So people in attendance, I gave this, so you give this, what do you call this, ceremonial token, first copy, right? I gave it to my English teacher. My A-level English teacher was a phenomenal, he's a phenomenal guy I met. From what he told us, he started learning English when he was 21, right? For O-levels, he has flunked English. He didn't know English, he flunked English. He said he started learning English after joining the military as a cadet officer or something. He said Denzel Kobakada taught him English in the military. Then at the time he was probably 46. He had a master's in English. And he was a brilliant, people who do horoscopes, he was pretty good with astrology, right? Astrology, right? And those days when school had to do stuff, you look for this auspicious time, he's the one who cast it for school. Auspicious time to cane the students, that kind of thing. So he's the guy who cast it. So I gave him this book. I remember he looked a lot like, if you remember this guy, politician, he had a short career, Milinda Morogoda. This guy looked like a replica of Milinda Morogoda. And we had a prescribed text when we were in A-levels, Narayan's the English teacher. And I remember my English teacher had put a brown paper cover and pasted Milinda Morogoda on the cover. So the last time I published poetry, it was a book called Love and Protest. It was actually published by the people helping me set this event up, offering publishers. Anushan and Manikya who were like in the background, the big players of offering. So 7 years later, they are now publishers plus event managers. Right? So my poetry hasn't actually gone very far, but publisher has. Right? So look, some of the pop print material is available, it's on display. Some of the pop print writers are here among us, right? So I don't mean to call out names, but Tina Samit is here, whose book was published last year, right? 2022 collection of poetry called Anarva, right? Well, we are a month too late, but Valentine's Day comes in a cycle. And into the card writing business, next Valentine's Day, you can quote from Anarva, pretty hardcore love poetry in it. Ayatollah Santan is here, who's come a long way. We were talking about this bird in the Salalini Sandesh. This gentleman has come from Jaffna to join me. That makes me very happy, right? Because people I really like spending time with, literally speaking, discussing stuff, right? Great friend.
You know, there's a strong relationship between Kotte Kingdom and Jaffna.
And the Jaffna Kingdom, right? We were talking about this just a couple of weeks ago, right? We were on a call and we happened to run into this subject, right? And his book, Rails on Parallel, Mr. Santan won there was a prize, a short-lived prize called the Fairway Award. Short-lived prize, couple of years. Fairway Award, he won the Fairway Award for that. This happened in Gaul, I happened to be there actually. when he won this award, fairway people clearly didn't know what they were doing. They were giving out unbelievable sums of money for books. And my actual concern was that you will get home safe that night from gold to platinum. Check, I don't tell how much. That is like a crazily impossible sum for writing a book. Okay? As opposed to state literary award. My last collection of poetry happened to be the state literary award. I got 60,000 rupees for that. I think I shared the price with someone, right? So, right? So, because of COVID, I couldn't come back for 2 years. So I come back in 2020. 2021, I came at the end of 2021. Not only hometown, everything has changed. Including so many things you don't think would change, but definitely kind of spaces. I don't know if other people feel. Yes. It's like a big, so especially like Ken, there are some places which
you mentioned a bookshop, no? Second-hand bookshop.
Second-hand bookshop, and candy doesn't change as a rule.
True.
Or it changes at its
Own
phase,
phase,
it's a
yes.
different phase, right? So
At least for a generation, it just stays like that, no?
at least for a generation, right? So some of the players, they're like, what happened? And yeah, so I felt it a lot, but I wonder whether it's a result of COVID per se, or whether it's just coming back after a slightly longer break.
That longing to be back home, that sort of added like a double impact.
In any case, I felt that I stayed away for a year too long, definitely. I felt I should have come a year earlier. So the last year was a bit neither there nor here. Yeah. This,
Especially the first line.
yeah, this since 2015 actually. In 2015 there was this life-changing experience. I read a book called Rails from Canada, right? By someone called Santan. Right? Since reading that book, right? Since 2015. No, I mean like I'm
My say, imagination, and also which I found very captivating was the last card game before Anushka did. It almost runs like a it has a touch of the dramatic to it. And
Actually, these were written, the original drafts, that one and the one that comes after. There's one called Aravinda's Anxiety. So these were written more or less in tandem. And largely, I think the original drafts were written while I was away, but I modified it a lot since. So actually, Anushka's wedding, Anushka marries Aravinda. Next poem. So that's the next poem. So slightly longer pieces. I think the orientation is a bit different. The structuring is a bit different. A bit dramatic, as you say. Yeah.
So you consider this like a chronicling of your personal, I mean not just your own experiences, but also that of your close companions and those moments that sort of define how that stage is crossed, maybe from because Anushka obviously now she gets there's a different stage that starts in there. So something like that we are trying to capture that moment, because sometimes those fleeting moments with friends where the next day the world changes. So was it something like that was working at the?
So two answers. So one is, in my personally speaking, the world changes because I make it change. Right? When Anushka or whoever weds, I make a change. Right? So, on principle.
No more parties.
No more card games. So if there is a card game, I quote from Anarva in the card game and send it. So, but I don't think I'm consciously doing it. To answer your first question, I don't think I'm actually thinking along those lines of chronicling or whatever. So probably, as I remember, originally I wanted this to be a longer poem in installments. So this is like installment 1 and 3. But then with time you kind of change your mind and you feel these are the better parts to retain.